Outside of the Tristan Thompson news, though, the Cavs
really sold that.
Put an absolute butt whooping on the Orlando Magic last night. That's now 8 wins in a row. They're beating teams in this 8-game win streak by an average of 22 points per game.
Yeah,
They've led 4 games in this 8-game winning streak where they haven't trailed for a single second.
They're going to trade.
Which is the most in an 8-game
Mobley
stretch in a while.
Garland.
They're getting contributions from all over the court. Sam Merrill's playing phenomenal. Jarrett Allen's double-double streak has now reached the pinnacle. He has 12 consecutive double-doubles, a new Cavs franchise record. They're playing their best basketball and ball. I'll start with you because I know you said nothing in the regular season will really change your opinion of this team until the postseason rolls around. But it's 8 in a row. They're playing as good of basketball as any team in the league right now.
I mean, I'm impressed.
What does this have to reach? What does this have to get to before you're like, maybe this team is something?
I got to say I'm impressed. I'll admit that. And
but don't buy in.
But no, it doesn't change anything because they've I hate to be a jerk about it because it is cool that they're playing. They're fun. They are fun to watch.
It's way better watching now than it used to be.
I'll co-sign that.
Some of these guys off the radar, like that we didn't really think about, that only G. Bush had his eye on before the season, have really, like, the Cavs traditionally have been awful at developing players out of nowhere. And finally this year they've done that.
Yeah, I know it.
Like, you got 2 guys out of nowhere that are contributing in a nice way. But I can't help but think, well, it's mostly been against terrible teams. Giannis didn't play for the Bucks.
I counter the terrible teams with this. Even though the average margin of victory is, what'd you say, 22?
Yeah.
In most of those games, the starters played very little in the fourth quarter.
They have rested a ton of guys late.
If they were in those games to play as hard as they needed to, they could. Their average margin of victory could have been what it was against the Bucks, which was 40 points.
But does this streak make you think they have any better a chance of beating Boston or Philly or Milwaukee or even the Knicks when it matters?
Now when Embiid dropping 70 points. First of all, let me get that camera for a second.
70?
Hit 70 points last night. Let me see that. Let me see that camera. Because now that we're talking about Cavs, this is a person I need to talk to. Jarrett Allen. Listen, you done. You ain't getting on my parlay ever again. I can't believe you couldn't.
The guy's been great.
You couldn't get one more point for me. I know you don't care about my parlay, but I needed one more point. I would have took $10 and made it $1,400. But you decided to get, instead of getting 15, you decided to get 14. 1 point away. So you're done.
God, anyways, for a stressful fourth quarter.
you've been remarkable. Listen, I love what the Cavs have been doing outside of you messing me up not getting 15 points last night. I love what the Cavs have been doing. I mean, listen, you think about where this team was. It was at the point, we got to trade Mitchell. Donovan's like, I don't know what's going on. We had the JB should be fired talks. And it seems to me we got guys that's starters that's not even in the line of Darius, Evan, guys that we thought we needed to win games, and they haven't been in the lineup. And for a while it was shaky, but this team has figured out how to play off of each other. And you got to give them a ton of credit for that because that's hard to do on the fly, especially with chaos going on with all of this disinterest and all of these stories being written about stuff. It's so hard to lock in and just go to work every day.
So do they win a playoff series?
Yeah. Well, do they win a playoff series? Yeah. I mean, I think I need to see how this team responds when the other two come back. That's going to be the thing.
How do they change their play when Mobley and Garland come back?
They're going to win a playoff match. And I thought I would never say that. I think they're going to win the first round matchup.
So this recent play has changed your opinion on that?
Yes. I got to see the other two.
But what are you going to do with Mobley and Garland?
McNuggets can chime in on this. The reason why I think that these guys can play this way is because this is the new wave. And the Cavs have been so resistant to join the fray of saying we need one big and 3, 4, 5 shooters and jacking up 10 jumpers.
Evan Mobley better be shooting threes.
And now what you see is you getting guys like Dieng, career high. I seen Dean Wade shoot 10 threes and they gave him the green light. Sam Merrill, I told you, listen, Merrill Lynch is out here giving y'all that financial business right now. He's shooting all kind of threes right now.
Give the man a raise.
That man is killing. Look at that. He 8 of 13
threes last night.
McNuggets, out of curiosity, how tall is Max Strus?
6'5".
6'5".
Oh, is he that tall?
And how tall is Sam Merrill?
6'3".
I would have had Strus at about 6'3" or 6'4".
I thought he was 6'3". No,
I didn't think he was that big.
The only reason I asked, in all seriousness, when Garland and Mobley come back,
right. Somebody got to come off the bench.
They both coming off the bench, and they coming off the bench after Sam Merrill. I'm not even kidding you. No, I'm dead serious. Because what you finding out is you can't run with the 2 small guards. You got a small guard and you got at least a 6'5" guy. So you finally not doing the 2 small guards thing. You win it. You realize that we need another shooter instead of 2 bigs, and you finally win it.
Hey.
I wouldn't touch it. I bring him right off the
At the end
bench.
of the game, you're not going to have Garland and you're
Nah.
not going to have these guys in
I
together.
don't know.
Listen, it's
I don't know how I
been, they
feel.
have these two been playing together for almost 2 seasons, and they ain't figured it out yet. Garland and Donovan.
Yeah.
They haven't figured it out yet. So why would I? Now it seems like we finally got something going. You don't touch that.
This dude, listen, I watched this game and I ain't gonna lie. It reminded me of
Especially if they beat the Bucks in a couple of days.
The deflating way that they was hitting them threes reminded me when the Cavs was playing the Warriors and they would pull up from half court and it was just going in. These dudes was playing around, man. Listen, Merrill, it should be in a 3-point shootout. Donovan Mitchell is actually a better point guard than I thought he would be.
Yeah, he get like 8 assists.
And Jarrett Allen,
last night.
Jarrett Allen
Yeah,
has been my comeback player of the year because Jarrett Allen was almost on his way up out of here. And not only am I saying he's balling, but I'm saying, well, Mobley, we don't know if you're going to be the big and the 1-4 out. We don't know.
And the crazy thing is, I'm a Darius Garland apologist. That's my favorite player.
I love Darius.
And I'm bringing him off
I
the
do
bench.
too.
I am.
It's funny.
know he gonna start though, right?
I asked 2 weeks ago about a
gonna start.
trade,
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
everybody, I think I drew you guys.
Yeah, I
drew
said
blood
I
on
would.
set.
I don't want to trade.
All the
him.
Cavaholics
That's
were
my
mad
favorite
about
player. I
that.
wouldn't want to trade
What's
him.
that?
The Cavaholics were mad about
They
that.
were very
But I'm
upset.
definitely bringing him off the bench. I'm
But
not until the chemistry's
my point
bad.
in asking the question, do you make a trade? I don't think you can trade Garland because we don't know about Mitchell.
Yeah.
But I said at the time, I go to Donovan Mitchell and I say, here's our plan. We have figured out that we're at our best with one of the two. We want the one to be you. You sign our extension right now, we trade Darius Garland and get you more pieces to win a championship here. You refuse it, we trade you now, and Garland is our guy moving forward. On the Mobley front, I said, is it worth investigating what you could get for this guy? Everybody seems to think he's going to be the guy that delivers us a championship. He'd better.
Yeah, the diehard Cavs fans think it's the dumbest thing ever to trade Mobley. Mike, you're the
Mike does too.
you
Mike
think
doesn't
Mike
like the
does so
idea.
too. So maybe
I ain't
they might
saying
be
trade
right.
I'm not
nobody.
trading
You know
Mobley.
what? I do want to see what they do against Milwaukee at full strength in a few days.
Yeah.
I do want to see that.
McNugget-
That to me will be a great test.
Is Giannis going to play or is he
Yes,
going
he's
to
going to
around?
play.
Yeah, he gonna play.
He'll
It's,
play.
it's tomorrow
McNuggets-
night too. They play twice in 3 days. They
Yes,
play Wednesday
and he
and
will
Friday.
play.
McNuggets, is it asinine for them to come off the bench?
Who, Mobley?
Mobley and Garland?
Dang.
Garland's going to start for sure.
Look,
knows
I told
no
you,
way that's
Garland's starting
Mobley-
ASAP.
I like it.
Mobley, though, there is, and okay, I'm gonna go back to go forward real quick.
Sure.
Their defensive rating since December 15th, and those
Yep.
two went out, is first in the NBA.
I know it is.
Part of the reason they've been so good defensively is with just the one big, they switch everything.
Right.
And let's give Isaac Okoro all the credit.
I agree
he
with
has
that.
taken a massive step. Steve, you take 251 full here. Just a little testament to his range. Last week, he was the primary defender on Dame Lillard, held him 8 points under his average. We know Dame, point guard, scoring extraordinaire. Last night, he was the primary defender on Paolo Banchero, a center.
Yep.
He guards 1 through 5. He's the ultimate
And
Swiss
how
Army
many guys
knife
can
on
do that?
defense. Very few held Banchero to 18 points, below his shooting percentage, below his season average. When they have Mobley and Garland back, Okuro's not in the lineup, and Max Strus is the guy drawing those assignments. Max Strus' defensive resistance is not comparable. Strus isn't a bad defender.
No, I was going to say I don't see
He's
him as
fine.
a bad defender, but he's not in a
He's not
Okoro's-
Okoro.
No.
And having Okoro in the starting lineup has helped them unlock other things defensively and offensively. They still don't guard him, and he's not a great shooter, but he's making threes at a level he wasn't last year. So he's not a complete zero.
He is
Yeah.
a threat to shoot the
offensively.
ball, so you can't leave him
Right.
completely alone.
Mike, let me ask you this: how many minutes when Mobley was playing? How many minutes was he playing per game, and how many minutes was Allen playing per game? Do you know?
This
Like,
season, so it's not going to be perfect because I can't sort it that quickly. But Allen on the year, 30.2 minutes, and Mobley was 33.6.
So there's a lot of minutes where they're on the floor together.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what we have, and sometimes this happens. I think what the Cavs have stumbled upon, this was an unintended consequence of an injury, of 2 key injuries. What they have stumbled upon was what I was begging JB to do in the playoffs. I was actually begging him to do it in March and April. Mess around with your combinations. Figure out what is your best combination. He didn't do it in March. He didn't do it in April. They were done. They did it this year only because Mobley and Garland got hurt. And what we have discovered And it's a small sample size, and I will give you that. And I'm very curious to see how that holds up against Milwaukee. But I'm going to say this. If they, by some weird freak miracle, beat Milwaukee the next 2 games, my mind is solidified. This is it.
Well,
this is our best combination.
When is Darius coming back?
So
They pushed him back a little bit.
Yes,
yeah, so Darius. Actually, don't know if I can say that. Scratch the record. Just go.
Okay.
Well, when's Mobley supposed to be back?
What is out there?
Who's coming back?
Information that
Who's coming back first?
Garland's jaw is still wired shut.
It is.
So
So what's Mobley's status, Mike?
Mobley's still at least a month away.
All right, but let me ask you this. I know this is not, teams don't really do this, but you're saying they're both averaging about 30 minutes. Well, Allen was probably averaging less.
Allen's touches went up 40 per game,
Right.
according to your buddy.
But yeah, right.
That's stunning to me.
But let me ask you this, Mike. You play 48 minutes in a game. Is it crazy to think that both guys could play roughly 24 minutes a game?
I don't think it is.
And they never play at the same time? Is that insane?
It's theoretically not insane, but Mobley's not the one center guy that Allen is right now. Like
I agree
and I
with
think
that.
we saw that last year. Allen is the perfect, like legitimate center to do that. Mobley's he's not a great
Now,
point
Mike,
of
let me
attack
ask you
defender
this.
yet.
The general consensus is he will not only be that guy, but he'll be better. His ceiling is higher than Allen's. I
Yes.
think that's fair.
Yes.
But here's my problem with that. At what point does the ceiling start to fall? How much do we need to see from him
It's
before
already-
we say,
it's
he's not
falling.
him?
It's already falling.
It has for me, too.
Wemby came in and it fell quick. I'm like, oh, that's what that looked
Well,
like.
he's a different breed.
You got Chet Holmgren.
Chet Holmgren
You got
looked
guys
different.
that
Yeah,
do
no, you're
different
right.
Things. Yeah.
That looked
And the
different.
thing with Mobley and Bull, and you've heard Jason say this. In a perfect world, Mobley's the center. But what has Jason Lloyd, who sat on this panel 100 times, said? In his mind, he's the Kevin Durant. He's a 3.
Oh, no.
Well, you can't have a 3
Ooh.
playing Mobley, which was when they drafted him. That's what the Cavs had hoped to turn
Man,
into.
y'all
Wayne
cut it out.
Mobley.
Have we drug
And that's not
tested
even
Jason
fair to
Lloyd?
Mobley.
Cut it
That's
out.
not
Go
fair to
back and
Mobley.
watch
I think there was a vast over his
Yeah.
Yeah.
Durant was shooting like that at Texas.
Texas.
Why would it hurt? Would it hurt? It's the regular season. Why not try and see how the team would work when Mobley comes back with not playing?
I agree.
Maybe a couple of minutes here and there, but for the most part, playing them separately and seeing if Mobley you said he can't play that role the same way. Well, maybe he can.
Right.
If he knows it's going to be a regular thing, maybe he'd be better at it. Why not try it?
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
It's just like Darius Garland with Colin Sexton.
Yeah.
That person feels like they're a max player. And when you got young guys, now I think Mobley is a humble guy, don't say much. I think he's a good kid. I've not seen
I think
nothing.
they all are.
I have not seen anything that would say they would be disruptive. However, I know for a fact that Colin Sexton's agent was like, oh no, we're not taking a backseat to Darius Garland. Like, we feel he scores 24 points in a game. Like, he's a max dude.
He's
got him up outta
played
here, too.
really well.
And
this
so
season.
they got him up
Colin
out of there and went. Now Mobley, what if he says, bro, look, I'm a max player. I'm a unicorn.
And he
I'm
wants
gonna
to get
come
his
off the
rookie
bench."
max, too.
What'd you say?
He wants to get his rookie max. To this point of his career, Evan Mobley has not made significant life-changing money yet.
No, but it's
If
coming.
I'm the team, I don't
It's
care
coming.
about
Yeah,
that.
but it's
though.
coming
But
if
I
he
guess
plays the way
you
we
know.
think he can, not if he becomes a
I'm
six-man.
with Bull. I wanted them to do this last year. I was begging for let's change things up. What are your rotations going to be? We got in the playoffs and it looked like it was a pop quiz to him.
I mean,
Let's figure out what we have, and this is a great opportunity to do it. Even when they come back, I still want to see mixing and matching with guys. I do agree that they put their foot in it not put their foot in it. That makes it seem like they had no idea what they were doing. Sam Merrill, sometimes you step in it and you're like, oh, wow. The whole thing with Sam Merrill is he became
He's been a find.
look over the glasses.
he is so much more than everybody except G thought he was going to be.
I think Mike liked him too. Wasn't
Mike
Mike
did
also?
like him. I remember you liked him
Yeah,
and
he could
Porter.
play. He could play, yeah.
And but to me,
I mean,
Merrill,
43%.
this is
Shooting 9.5
astonishing.
threes a game, too.
And for teams to win a championship, by the way, I do think that you need something like that to happen.
Yeah, you do.
Never traditionally done
No, they
that.
haven't.
Yeah.
Paxson, Kerr. You need guys like that. You need guys like that.
His 3-point percentage is barely below his field goal percentage, right?
It's because he only shoots threes.
Yeah, he
but
does. Last night he was 8 of 13
8 of
from the
13.
floor.
All we
He
need-
was 8 of 13 from three-point range.
All we missing is Amani Bates.